The situation was not looking good for the Bonhomme Richard. The American sailors on board had been fighting the sailors on the British ship, the HMS Serapis, for hours. The Serapis was winning the battle. John Paul Jones was marching up and down the deck. The sound of cannon fire from the British ship was so loud that he could not hear himself think.
"All right, men. Be strong. Be brave. Ready? Aim. Fire!"
The sailors fired their guns as they were ordered. All of a sudden, there was a loud sound and a cry from the other end of the ship. John ran to see what had happened. All across the deck were wounded and dying sailors.
"Sir, the guns, they jammed."
One sailor explained. Two of the largest guns on board had backfired, killing and wounding many crew members. John almost felt sick to see all the blood and gore. He was glad that he had ordered the walls and the deck of the ship to be painted red, so the blood would not show as much. He turned around and took a deep breath. He was angry that so many people had been killed, and he was afraid that his ship would lose to the bigger and better equipped British ship. By the time he turned back around, his anger was greater than his fear.
"All right, men. We are going to win this battle."
He pointed to the British ship. His Scottish accent was stronger than usual, and his R's rolled as he spoke.
"We are going to destroy that vessel. I know we can do it." "Quarter, sir, quarter!"
One sailor shouted. By that he meant that the ship should surrender to the British. John became so angry that he picked up his pistol and broke the sailor's skull.
"If anyone else wants to surrender, he can join this fellow. Now is not the time to surrender. Now is the time to fight."
The Serapis was approaching the Bonhomme Richard. The sailors held their fire at a signal from the British. Captain Richard Pearson of the Serapis waved at John.
"Jones, do you plan to strike your colors?" "I have not yet begun to fight,"
he replied. The crew, tired from 3 hours of fighting, was suddenly full of energy. The sailors started throwing homemade bombs at the British kegs of gunpowder. The battle suddenly turned, and the Americans began to win. Finally, the Serapis struck its colors, and the Bonhomme Richard, which had begun to sink, was brought to port. Against all odds, the Americans had won the battle.